Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and it is official. I am back at work, but I'm actually kind of excited about that. So, yep, our bizarre school district starts today in the very early days of August, whereas I know some of our European friends out there are just barely starting their holiday season. Yep, I'm back in the classroom. Hooray. No, that's cool. But it's also a cause for celebration because this is the most outstanding model that's been on my table since I think before I even started doing Obscurities and Miniatures. That is this Bakunin Taskmaster from Infinity. And I hate painting white. And it looks nothing remotely like Angel Giralda's cover art. And looking at it, I did actually, believe it or not, because I know someone will comment, I did actually hit all that orangish red stuff with a wash, but it just, I think I need to go back with a darker one. I'm definitely going to have to go back, because it's too plain looking, I think, without it. And I really like this model. It was kind of rough around that edge there, and I really need to go back and fix up some of those highlights, but it's a cool model. One of these days, someday, I've still got a bunch of the Operation Ice Storm stuff unblemished by human hands at this point. I need to actually open it up, but yeah, I think this guy was before I even started this channel. He's been sitting there a while. Maybe he was one of the first models I ever did. I'm too frightened to go back in my search history and look at those old videos, so at least he's finished now. I churned through a bunch of stuff this week, and I don't think I'll be able to do that anytime soon, besides the fact that school is now in session for me, and my brother that lives in Japan is actually coming this week, so I really don't think I'm going to get much painted. I would much prefer, not that I don't enjoy making, videos for all of you and for my own personal enjoyment, but the fact that, my nieces are actually going to be coming and I haven't gotten to see them in person for some time, so really looking forward to that and spending some time with them, and even my son is, and he's too cool for anything, so I'll try to get some stuff painted still. Alright. A random Lizardman from Wargames Atlantic that I painted up in very Dragon Bait-like colors. I don't remember if that's his gun or if it had the bayonet. I think that's their sword. And I know that cape is off of a Dark Age Irish from Wargames Atlantic as well. Fun models. And looking at the smoothness of the bodies, I am absolutely convinced that you could totally use the Aztec bodies for spare lizard bodies, if you don't mind the limbs or lack of claws. And tails, obviously. But if you just want some generic lizard humanoids, I think that's going to be a fun little option, especially if you think about it. The Lizardman kit actually comes with tons of heads. The angle of those heads might be a little bit of a challenge to mess with, but that's what converting models is all about, right? Alright, what else we got? We got a bunch of random stuff this week, but that's always the case. This young lady is an older Cyberforge model. I don't know if it was before they did the official split between Titanforge and Cyberforge. It might have just been an early Cyberpunk release. But if you're interested in any of the Cyberpunk stuff that they do, and you can't even really see her knife there on her belt, I'm going to have to go back and fix that. Just about everything that Titanforge has put out at this point via STL files, you can actually get printed versions from them or the files themselves. So I will have a link to their website down below. I know a lot of the companies that are doing STL files are starting to get their own websites up and running, which is always a cool thing. Speaking of Titanforge, here we have one of their Badlands models. Definitely pretty bad. Very quick and rough paint job, because I wanted to get him finished. I like that head. I want to say this is like kind of the chief head. This is a cool release. I did a video on him a while back. I'll let you search that up. I'm too lazy to put the little box in the top corner there. But it was all pretty modular, and they had the option of having more ironworked weapons versus just pure bone, club, sticks, stuff like that, which I opted for. Maybe I'll use them for like paleo diet or something. And while we're at it, we've got like the big bruiser of the tribe as well. A little bit glossy there still. I'm gonna have to fix that, Mr. High Lord Tamberlane. I had to put him on a 40mm base. I think it's 40. Maybe it's a 32. Nope, 32. I can't count. I should know better. But he is like significantly larger. Whee! Then the cowhead skull there. And do not fear, I didn't do only printed stuff. I did do a lot of printed stuff though, so I'm going to get that out of the way. Alright, a Raging Heroes model. This was, I believe, from their steampunk release, but I love this assassin model. Actually, I gotta say, Raging Heroes stuff has really been knocking it out of the park lately. I think the character models especially. The troops I've been a bit hit or miss on, and the bigger pieces, you know, I could take it or leave it, but I really have been enjoying their hero models. And that's really glossy too. We'll have to fix that. I like she's missing just about every limb, missing an eye, buried treasure chest on the base, and those reverse jointed blade legs are just really cool. Okay, what else we got? Another Kyoshu Neko model. This is their original Ronin Oni Samurai champion. I want to say... remember, yeah, he was with their Ronin release. Well, all this stuff is a while back, but you can find all these models like on My Mini Factory these days. I was stalling trying to find, so here's the remixed version I did last week, I believe. I like the only one more. I think he turned out better. I still don't know which clan this guy's supposed to be. I had to figure that out. I was trying to think of colors to use that weren't going to be like just the obvious stereotypical black, and I just now realize it looks like there is actually a string for his mask. I want to fix that up. Kyoshu Neko makes the best samurai printed stuff on the regular. Now I do like my samurai dude that Raging Heroes put out. Like I said, they've really been knocking it out of the park with their, you know, I have them handy here. A lot of their hero releases I think were really nice, but then again, the Kyoshu Neko heroes have been really nice as well. So definitely, we'll have those links, like I said, take a look down there below. Alright, here's something new. Imitation of Life Miniatures has been putting out all kinds of fun stuff for a little while now. Eventually we'll have to put a video out on just their stuff. They've got some really nice modular nuclear fallout crazies. So one of the nice things you can see, like he's got the little nuke symbol there. Most of these guys had all modular bits. I didn't do the best painting job on it. My yellow sucks, and I really want to get that new contrast yellow from GW just to give it a try. I know this model itself had a couple of different options for his arms. I think he had an optional head as well. I could be wrong. I know that the beard is actually attached to the head. So if you don't like that, no worries there. Or maybe not. I don't remember now. I've got a couple more of these guys, but I think these are perfect for a lot of different games. Obviously, things like this is not a test, but I'm thinking, you know, Necromunda, Ash Waste stuff. There you go. I mean, he's dressed like somebody out of Condor as it is. And finally, the last printed model I believe I did this week. The Super Weeb himself, Mr. Chip Zanoff, from the Guilty Gear series. And again, not the best paint job. I'll take the blame on that. And the model is a little bit rough around the edges. I'm going to be critical in that regard. I think that's one thing that Erkman, the guy that designed this, I think his geometry has gotten a lot better with his more recent models, and that's something I would consider having him challenge himself for, is to continue to refine that. Because otherwise, you know, I think he's got a really solid pose. Looks like he is in Strive, if you're familiar with Guilty Gear. And I now have everybody on different size bases that I have painted from the game so far. So I'm trying to remember, who did I say I was going to do next? Leo? White Fang? Or, what's her name? Ram Lethal, maybe? I was going to say one of the Valentine girls. I'll figure it out. Now, what I spent most of my week doing was painting these dudes. These came out of left field. I ordered a box of boxers from War Games Atlantic, got these instead, and just decided to start painting some. So I had to, and I had to paint them up like they're part of the Zulu War, obviously. Because, I mean, that's what these bulldogs, I mean, come on, they've got the pith helmets, the webbing, everything works out perfectly for Space Zulu Wars. I was thinking, you know, they're going to be a bunch of conquering imperialists. Maybe they can go fight it out with the lizards. But I figured I can't only have one, right? I need a few of them. I know they're pretty sloppy, but I will admit I did not put a whole lot of time into these guys. I tried to just steamroll my way through them. And I have a sergeant type. And from my understanding, his hand's actually on the inside of that thing, I think. Not the best paint jobs, but that's okay. I don't care. And obviously, we need to have the guys sipping tea as well on the rear lines. Alright, almost done here. So we also went ahead and finished painting up another of those Limbo Division girls. This is the, what, 35mm version? 28mm, 32. I don't know what actual scale they use. I know they do the bigger ones, but this is not one of those. Definitely take a look at Limbo Division stuff if you've never had a chance. The resin casting is awesome. They're going to start offering STL files for a lot of their figures. They are one of the few, and I always forget to mention this when I do videos on their stuff, that actually make like big 54mm. I think they might have done 75mm as well. They've done busts, but they do a lot of large-scale models as well as gaming size. So they are very, very pin-up cheesecake heavy. So be aware of that. And then, because I haven't even put a video up on this model yet, I went ahead and painted Lantern Armor Aya. And I really liked this pose, and I have broken out. Jeez, I gotta get the matte sealing on her there. That's okay. I think I need to touch up. Her butt cheeks are way too shiny. I really liked this pose. I know the proportions are way out of control. Heard all kinds of complaining and moaning and groaning online, but I thought it was really cool. Plus, she's mostly clothed for once. I mean, how often do you see Kingdom Death models like that? Well, fairly often these days. Plus, it's just big. It's a big model. I will hopefully have a video on this soon. I broke the original scabbard, or hilt of her sword there that was supposed to be there, and lost it promptly after that, after I filmed the video. I guess I'll have to do that soon. And then I've broken that axe at least 2 or 3 times while trying to paint her. Surprisingly, the lantern never got broken. But, yeah. Look at these puny men that barely come up to her waist. Oh, I say, dear. I don't know what that accent was. It was a bad one, to say the least. So, a nice-looking haul, if I do say so myself, even if it's been sloppily painted. And hopefully I should have some stuff from Mr. Percival Sparkletrout in the very near future. He is not forgotten. He is busy toiling away on some models for an upcoming Kickstarter, actually, that I'm not running, but we will definitely be seeing some models from in the near future. So if you want to keep your eyes peeled, we will have some more on that. Definitely some interesting stuff by artists that we both greatly enjoy and admire. And speaking of artists that we enjoy and admire, if you want to have a look, we will have links at the bottom under the description of this video for just about everything here. Yeah, everything here. I mean, some of these are obviously repeats from the same companies, but that's okay too. And hopefully there will be something there to tickle your fancies as much as mine. So with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.